Today I want to share with you a few things we've learned in the last month of cooking, and using those knowledge will make a dish together. The most striking is the existence of a cooling agent wherever there's heat. In the case of the garam masala, where there's aromatic heat, the body's perception of warmth from the cloves, from the cinnamon. We have the coriander, which gives you this citrusy, almost mint-like flavor, balancing the heat. In the case of Sichuan cooking, where it's known for actual pungent heat in the form of spiciness, there's always the cooling agent of the Sichuan peppercorn, which numbs the spices. So one night I thought to myself, why not combine the two? And the result was incredible. You almost have this wonderful citrus synergy with two kinds of cooling. First, you feel the numbing sensation. Then the cooling of the mint takes over. Then you get another wave of the Sichuan peppercorn. If you've never tried it, it's incredible. And we start by toasting them. You know the drill by now. Activate the volatile oils, making them more fragrant. And having watched old school Chinese chefs make Sichuan food, I noticed that I rarely take the Sichuan peppercorns as far as I should. In traditional Sichuan cooking, you almost want the red to turn darkish, like the chilies we're about to use. If I could go back in time, I would add the coriander to every single Sichuan videos I've done. I wouldn't go the other way though, because the numbing kind of overpowers the aromatic warmth of the garam masala. But perhaps we could revisit with a different ratio down the line. Today we're going 1:1. While that's happening, I'm going to prepare some dry ancho chilies just by removing the seeds and the stem. You know what we're making yet? And of course, as the kind viewers commented and taught me, we remove the seeds because of texture, not because of spiciness. The spiciness comes from the ribs. Perfect. Darker than I used to take them. Pesto mortar. It comes out. Keeping all the essential oils on the surface, we toast our dry ancho chilies to get them activated, during which we grind our cooling agents. Just the smell of the two together, it's so incredible. It's citrus on steroids with a hint of numbing. But the kind of citrusy goodness would put the best fresh lemon to shame. Perfect. Now, normally I would stop here, but knowing that there's a textural difference between the two, and you kind of want them in harmony, the Sichuan peppercorn being the coarser one, we're going to pass them today through a sieve. So each mouthful has balanced coolness. Okay, I've clearly done a horrible job grinding. Can we release this on a Monday so we can call this Impromptu Monday again? Alright, good enough. Perfect. Dry ancho chilies out. Again, keeping the essential oils. Boiling water in. We're not doing the chili dashi today because of what we're about to make. About 15 minutes, during which we'll prep our aromatics. Starting with the onion. Oh, I was going to slice them. A bit too late now. Minced onion. Coarsely minced, at least, I hope. Kind of zero waste. Heat back on. Neutral oil. Mixing with all the essential oils we just introduced. And we sweat some onions. This builds our aromatic base. And as usual, through heat, we evaporate the water content, concentrate the flavors, the sweetness in particular. Slice some garlic while that's happening. Since we've coarsely minced those, let's coarsely slice. There's no such thing as good knife skills, only good editing. Alright, onions are slightly translucent, horribly sliced garlic, they go in, for some umami depth, and of course caramelized sweetness. I think I forgot to salt. This will help them draw out the moisture as well. And to introduce some warmth, aromatic warmth that is, to balance the cooling sensation of the coriander, cinnamon sticks. And we're doing this so that the fat will start activating their fat-soluble compounds. Get them going a bit earlier. And we're using sticks because they're easier to fish out. All right. Right, while that's happening, we deal with the dry ancho chilies. Normally I pound them, but today, given what we're making, we make a paste. Mostly because of the texture of the skin. I want something more uniform, especially because I accidentally minced the onions. Oh, sorry, we layer flavors by adding our mix in stages. And like I said many times, Sichuan peppercorns cooked over a long period is a different beast. Gives you a lot of complexity. Make paste. Ancho chili paste. I mean, they're famous for their smoky sweetness, but for me, they are like a good mix of dark chocolate and dry fruits, like dark chocolate with raisins. It has this wonderful bitterness, if you like dark chocolate, that works so well in the chili con carne, balancing the animal fats. Now we cook them out to concentrate that dark chocolate goodness. And I suspect that's the reason why a lot of recipes actually call for dark chocolate at the end in chili con carnes. Now, more heat, in this case, pungent, umami-heavy heat in the form of fermented Sichuan chili bean paste. And we cook them out, evaporate their water content, concentrate their flavors. We start building our fond, concentrated Maillard reaction, caramelization, goodness. Start deglassing our pan, mopping up all those flavors. A bit of water to get this going. While we introduce our mystery ingredient, we have the firm tofu. So why was it a mystery? Because I knew you guys wouldn't click on it. Today we're making Mapo chili braised firm tofu with techniques we learned in the last month. Normally I advocate for using a trussing string to create a rougher surface, but for this dish, it's so flavorsome that you don't really need it. And I'm also quite lazy. Also, you're supposed to either steam or microwave this before doing what I did, but it's too late for me now. And you do that to remove the excess moisture and to get rid of that unwanted bean taste some people associate with tofu. But it's a strong enough dish, we'll survive. You have to use firm tofu for this recipe, by the way. They are made for braising. And given time, they'll act like sponges, absorbing all the flavors. At this point, you want to preheat your oven, 180 fan. Slowly mix everything together. Look at that. Now, remember I said the dry anchos, they resemble dark chocolate. At this point, we practically have something that is 85% cacao dark chocolate on our pan. Given the shorter cooking time, it will not mellow like it did in our chili con carne recipe. So, to turn the 85% to 70%, we add a bit of honey. And this also serves another purpose. Even though tofu is extremely high in protein, it lacks the reducing sugar for the Maillard reaction to meaningfully occur. We are simply adding a bit of honey to potentially help that get going, and to give us, of course, a bit more caramelization while this cooks in the oven. Perfect. So, from experience, we cover almost everything, not everything. Bring this back to boil. One more round of coriander, Sichuan peppercorn of course. Into the oven, about an hour. Turning every 15 minutes for equal opportunity browning. And from experience, you'll get the perfect reduction when it comes out. I'll see you then. After an hour, we have a very complex dish with very few ingredients. Look at that. Of course, you adjust your dark chocolate percentage with as much or as little honey as you like. And this is coming from someone who likes to avoid sugar in cooking, so this needs a little bit. And the true star of the show, the Sichuan peppercorn and coriander mixture. And again, if you've not tried this before, taste this on its own. It looks like a tart tatin now. And that's my favorite tofu dish.